everything they do is built around the brand. How can we elevate the brand? How can we elevate our stock? How can we please, our stakeholders, our shareholders, whatever it may be, right? Everything is centered around raising the bottom line for the Dallas Cowboys instead of raising banners. That's the difference between the Cowboys.
You know what did it? You know what did it for me? Was that last year or the year before? When was the year where he didn't want to close the curtains in the stadium because the sun was coming in?
That was 2020. Was it 2023?
I think so. Because I'm like, so wait a minute. This is not the first time this has happened. Your players are telling you that when you're in that corner in the end zone and they're looking for the pass, the sun is right in their face. You have a way to eliminate that problem, and you don't do it because of your ego. That's the way the stadium is built. Blah blah. Like no, your players told you that was a problem, and you didn't fix it. Your players told you they were uncomfortable with, being in the aquarium of fans walking around watching them work out in the weight room. Players don't like that.
I think that's the weirdest.
That is no, that is a guaranteed, verified moneymaker. Ooh, you want to see an athlete in his natural habitat? It's like going to the damn zoo. And he capitalized on it. That's one of those things where you never thought somebody would take that far. It's like, well, maybe your players are telling you they don't appreciate that. That makes them uncomfortable and everything that can come with that. Because you in the weight room, you ain't got no clothes on. You got your you got your shorts on, and your shoes. That's about it.
Right.
So that's supposed to be your time. That's like quality time with your teammates. It ain't supposed to be nobody from the outside. It's supposed to be you, your teammates, and your coaches. Period. And then Jerry's done made that a sideshow. So there have been situations where they've told him the things that they didn't like and things that were going on, but to the point, the ego comes in. I'm Jerry Jones. This is my money. This is my team. And then ain't nobody gonna argue with him. He got into a war with the local content creators down there because the content creators was ripping them a new one. The content creators, even the ones down in Dallas, at least some of them will tell the truth. As opposed to the people on the radio, they want Jerry Jones to keep coming to the shows because that boosts their numbers and money. But if you on YouTube or you a content creator, you got a little bit more anonymity and you can say what you feel.
Because you're not beholden to the
exactly.
You're not beholden to the corporate side of this thing.
Yeah.
It's like us, right? We cover the Eagles, and luckily we have great things to talk about, but we're not beholden to having to appease them as a brand, as a corporation. We can have free reign opinions. We're not, there's no overhead above us. You get what I'm saying? Right. So, look, the Cowboys, they made this bed. They lie in it, right? Let's really get into the nitty-gritty of who they are. I was doing a live stream a couple days ago, and we're so used to breaking down this team through the lens of, okay, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence is on that defense, right? Okay, Trevon Diggs, Deron Bland has emerged, right? Okay, who's this guy? DeMarvion Overshawn, right? They have players that you had to Zach Martin. Okay, we got to make sure we could handle Zach Martin on the interior. This Cowboys team, we were used to digesting and looking at this Cowboys team one way. Now there's a new lens we have to look at them through, at least for the 2025 season. Yes, they have Dak Prescott who could put up numbers, but who is he after the torn hamstring? I think this is his second significant injury in his career. Yeah. Significant.
Yeah. And let me be honest with you, I didn't even realize that DeMarcus Ware was in Seattle.
See, that's what I'm saying. But it happened so early in the offseason because he was a free agent and they decided not to bring him back. It happened so early. That's why it's important we look at them through this new lens because so much has changed around them.
Yeah.
And they're not, it's a divisional rival. So you want to say they're a threat, but when you really break down just who they are, how they're built, how they're constructed.
Right.
and think about how the Eagles are constructed. The Eagles should be able to handle business no problem on Monday. Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday. On Thursday, they should be able to handle no problem. Handle this no problem on Thursday. I think the game plan doesn't have to be complicated. Again, we know Dak is going to put up numbers, right? But who is he after this torn hamstring? What's his mobility like? Then okay, CeeDee Lamb. We know what CeeDee Lamb's going to give us. He's a talented brother. I'm not even worried about CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens, talented brother. Let's see how he fits into this new Brian Schottenheimer style offense.
Right.
Okay. Now we get beyond the big names. Let's really get into the foundation of their offense. Offensive line, young, unproven as a collective, unproven as a group. You got Tyler Guyton, second-year player, who actually is dealing with a knee injury, and he likely won't be active for that game. He's supposed to be your heir apparent to Tyron Smith. You know, they had the guy in what's my man's name? They have Tyler Booker, the rookie they drafted. I think he's at right guard.
Yeah, Tyler Booker was the one that was talking trash on Jalen Carter.
Exactly. They have Connor Beebe as well as center, second-year player, young, raw. They got Terrence Steele. You know, they got Tyler Smith. They got like 3 Tylers in that line. They got Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, and Tyler Booker. I think Tyler Smith is a Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure I got this right here. But Tyler Smith is a 2-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time second-team All-Pro. He's probably their most decorated offensive lineman. But as a collective, they're young and they're unproven as a group. And to take it a step further, they have no running game. Who are their running backs?
Deuce Vaughn,
somebody that hasn't really gotten any play. They got Miles Sanders over there. They got Jaden Blue they drafted, right? They got
I forgot Miles Sanders went down there.
Yeah. You look at their team, you're like, okay, outside of Dak Prescott and trying to pad the stats, what are they really going to be able to do offensively consistently and sustain success? So that's that. But the defensive side is where the real meat and potatoes are. That defense. Okay, you moved on from Micah Parsons to, again, I'm not mad at the move. I feel like they could have got more back. They could have got somebody that could help them not just now, but also in the future. I don't understand how they walked away from that trade.
I didn't even know Deuce Vaughn got cut. The only reason I said
Deuce Vaughn got cut? Damn.
Yeah, the only reason I know Deuce Vaughn is because they made such a big deal because his dad worked in the front office. And they let him call his son to let him know that the Cowboys was going to draft him. And then he didn't even really.
Did they allow his dad to call him and let him know he got cut?
Yeah, exactly. Probably not. Bring your playbook, son. Bring your playbook.
But let's really look at their defense, right? Because we're going to be talking about this all week. And we're going to have so much to break down even after. But let's really look at them for a little bit.
Real quick, Trey Brown, Dak can talk. They can do all the talking they want. It's going to come down to Thursday. So the time for talk is done. So I don't know what he said. I haven't heard any clips this weekend. So, you know, he probably tried to give some coach speak about, you know, what. Let me say it like this. What do you expect him to say? If somebody asks about the Eagles or anybody else, what do you expect your quarterback to say? Other than, yeah, we can handle anybody. And if he doesn't, then he probably shouldn't be your quarterback. So I don't bother me.
Yeah, Dak is as long as he's not going overboard like he did that one like last season where he's like, oh yeah, we're winning the Super Bowl. Who was he talking to? I can't remember who he was talking to, but like he declared that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl or going to be in. Was it Aaron Andrews? I think it was Aaron Andrews.
Yeah,
it was prior to the season, prior to the opener, and declared that they were going to the Super Bowl. Okay, all right. Nonetheless, let's break down who they are now because Micah Parsons isn't there. He's not a part of the game plan anymore. DeMarcus Lawrence is not a part of the game plan anymore.
Yeah, I think I said DeMarcus Ware. It was somebody said that in the chat, like it's DeMarcus Lawrence. My bad.
Yeah. DeMarcus Ware had been looking crazy as well, like flaunting Super Bowls that he didn't even win. But nonetheless, DeMarcus Ware did win one with the Denver Broncos, though, and he is a Hall of Famer, so he is solidified. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need him going crazy with Dallas Cowboys, but he didn't win those. Anyway, Micah Parsons is gone. Now, who was this defense? Let's really look at it from front to back. Let's start with the new addition. Let's start with the defensive line. You move from Micah Parsons. Now you got Kenny Clark there at D tackle. Now, at face value, you say, okay, Kenny Clark should be able to help your interior. That's something that they've been complaining about all offseason. I've been paying attention to these Cowboys content creators. They've been complaining
it's
about
better than what they had.
Yes.
Better than what they had. But when you lose, when you got one and then you got rid of the other one. Now, if they would have got Kenny Clark and Parsons was still there, that's a duo that's formidable. But you didn't gain any ground, in my opinion. I think you lost a step.
Yeah, so you lost a step in some way.
I'm gonna take the 26-year-old. I'm gonna take the 26-year-old generational talent that's been a Pro Bowler every year he's been in the league. Or Micah's what, 25?
26, right?
He is 26. But clearly Micah is the better player. Clearly Kenny Clark is a good player, but also 30 years old.
I'm glad you brought up his age. That's another reason why I look at the trade and I'm like, you could have got way. You're trading Micah Parsons and the 2 first-round picks. Okay, cool. But you walked away from that trade with only one player. And on top of that, a player that's 30 years old, likely his prime is behind him. Like, you didn't walk away with none of those young studs that Green Bay has. You didn't walk away with Adrian Cooper or Devontae Wyatt or Quay Walker. You didn't walk away with none of those young edge linebacker type. You didn't walk away with none of those young D tackles. You didn't walk away with nothing. Now, granted, Kenny Clark's contract gives him a lot of flexibility. After this year, he has 2 years left, but they can cut ties and not owe him a single dime. So
that was what Jerry was looking for. Because when it's easy to say that, but you got to remember, the Packers have to agree to that. That the Packers have to offer that.
No, of course, and I think this is where the flaw happens in the decision making, where people criticize it so much. It's like, okay, y'all clearly were at an impasse contractually. If you had any inkling you wasn't getting this deal done, trade them prior to the draft. Get more for them. Catch a team slipping. Catch them on their heels. Catch them when they're desperate. It's a week before the season starts.
Well, Jerry's did say that decision did not come down like within the last 5 days. He said they had been thinking about and trying to plan this for a while. And I'm like, okay, but you could have got him signed months before all of this had happened. So we can't pretend like all of that didn't happen. You could have got Micah Parsons to re-sign, and he would not have reset the market. He did not want to do that.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
In my opinion, the whole thing about Jerry Jones not want to deal with David Mulligata, his agent, is you have to deal with. You are an owner.
How do you sound? You don't want to deal with the player's agent,
and then you sign Deron Bland the 2 days after he leaves. Get out.
Coming off of a. And this is the problem with Jerry. Every move he makes seems to be reactive or somehow tied to his ego.
Yeah.
Right. During the whole negotiations with Micah, you know what else they did? They said, you know what? Let's pay our tight end. Let's pay Jake Ferguson. Like that contract's pressing. Let's pay Jake Ferguson. You know, let's trade for George Pickens and overcomplicate our situation because he's in the final year of his rookie deal. You know, let's pay Bland after we trade him just to show that it wasn't about the money. It's everything is reactive with this guy. Yeah. So now their defense is compromised. Kenny Clark, aging D tackle. I like the guy they have, Osa Odigizua. He's coming off a good season, but you just paid him. That's another guy they paid.
Yeah.
They paid
everybody but Micah.
They paid Jake Ferguson. They paid Osa Odigizua. They paid Deron Bland. And you allowed Micah Parsons to walk out that door. Excuse me.
And AQ, I don't think that if that is true, what you're saying, that Jerry shipped him somewhere he thought Micah would be miserable at, then Jerry's not paying attention.
You should have sent him to Tennessee or something. First of all, why would you send him to Green Bay? Why would you trade him in the conference? Listen,
conference.
Football
guess
101.
Who knocked y'all out of the playoffs last time, if I'm not mistaken. Well, so that don't make any sense, Q. But that it it wouldn't surprise me if that was Jerry's thought. I just think Jerry, that was the best deal he could get. And then the picks that he got, there's no guarantee for them picks. What's the percentage of first round picks that end up busts, let alone lower first round picks?
Yeah, he's gambling. Like he's
big time gambling.
He's gambling a lot. And
not when you have a bird in the hand.
But guess what? This goes back to that documentary thing. What's the name of that documentary again?
I don't even know. I ain't never watched it. And don't plan on it.
It just came out. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's called. He's a gambling man, right?
Yeah. Didn't he make reference to that in his press conference?
The Netflix series is called America's Team: The Gambler and His Cowboys.
He made reference to that during the press conference. And I was like, see, once again, you letting your ego get in the way. Now you trying to live up to what they said about you in some show. Jerry Jones, I said this to you before, Tone. Before it's all said and done, Jerry Jones' last great achievement is going to be his appearance on that show. What's that show with the oil men?
Landman.
Landman. That's going to be his best thing that he's done in the last like 10, 15 years, because it ain't been being a GM. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, for sure. Right. You know, I mean, speaking of him being a GM, a couple other players that they're going to be dependent on this season to step up. That's the thing, right? They put a lot of pressure on a lot of these young players early. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but a week before the season starts, and them losing Micah, in my opinion, that a week before the season, it's going to mess with them a little bit, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's going to sting.
Yeah.
That's going to sting.
Let me just give you some names here, guys that they're looking to step up. Mozzie Smith
hasn't done anything.
Who else we have here? Marshawn Nealand, who's entering year 2. They drafted Donovan Izaraku out of Boston College in the 2025 draft. I like Donovan Izaraku. We talked about him a lot.
I like that kid.
But again, he's a second round pick. We have no idea what he's going to do on the NFL level. He's an unknown, no matter how much I like what he's done in college. He's an unknown.
Is he going to replace the Micah Parsons production?
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that 100%. Let me just give you some metrics here, right? About what issues they really have, and they haven't proven that they can fix these issues quite yet. Let's look at this. Kenny Clark, they traded for him. His pass rush grade, and again, this is all according to PFF. His pass rush grade, 63.1. Okay, slightly above average. His run defense grade, 57.1. Dante Fowler Jr., somebody they signed this past offseason, had one of his best seasons with the Washington Commanders in 2024 with 10.5 sacks. He spent 2022 and 2023 with the Dallas Cowboys, but now they decided to bring him back. Again, coming off of a 10-sack season, but then you get the Dante Fowler Jr.'s run defense grade from the 2024 season, a 50.0. Marshawn Nealand, defensive end for the Cowboys, young player, only played in 11 games last year, started in 1, didn't produce a single sack. Pass rush grade, 53.4. Run defense grade, 47.2. Their linebacker situation. They had this kid, second-year player, Maurice Lufau. Pass rush grade, 65.6. Not bad. That's decent. Run defense grade, 54.1. They signed somebody in the offseason in free agency, Kenneth Murray Jr., spent 2024 in Tennessee. Run defense grade, 35.0. Solomon Thomas, another guy they signed in free agency. He was drafted in the first round by the 49ers. He spent the past few seasons with the Jets. He never really panned out and lived up to that first-round billing. But Solomon Thomas, according to PFF, 41.5 run defense grade. They got Sam Williams, young defensive end coming off of an ACL injury from last season. Will he, what will he be in what's year 3, year 4 for him? You just look at that front seven, that defensive line and linebacker rotation. They can't stop the run. They're not built. They're not constructed to stop the run. They're not prepared for what's coming on Thursday.
No, and they got to find somebody on that line. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. Micah Parsons, his rookie year, 2021, 13 sacks. 2022, 13 and a half sacks. 2023, 14 sacks. Last year, 12 sacks. His worst year as a pro is 12 sacks.
Where are they going to? How are you replace? Football's all about production.
Who's going to get that production?
It's all about
going to
production.
reproduce that?
Kenny Clark's not getting you 12 sacks.
No.
Respectfully, he's not.
No, not playing D tackle and nose.
Right. And here's the thing, right? You have to earn the right to rush the passer in this league. You have to earn that right. And if you can't stop the run, your team is never going to be in a situation to be able to really rush the passer with reckless abandon. You know what made Micah so fascinating for the Cowboys that sure he was limited in run defense, but he could wreck a game for you. He can close a game for you. He can flip that field for you. You don't have anybody on that defense that can, that can really do that for you right now. Now, if you want to take it a step further to the DBs, in particular, those guys who's getting the money, Trevon Diggs and DaRon Bland. Trevon Diggs is coming off of back-to-back seasons where he's dealing with a knee injury. In 2023, towards ACL, was done for the season. 2024, re-aggravated the same knee, had to get surgery on it again, the same left knee where the ACL got torn. And he just got activated off the PUP list a few weeks ago. So I'm looking at Trevon Diggs as a guy who is a former Pro Bowler from the 2022 season and 2021 season. He is a all-pro for one of those seasons. But coming off of back-to-back seasons where you had to get knee surgery of a torn ACL in your left knee and it's still bothering you in 2024, you couldn't finish the season. You're getting the money now, which is that's something I really don't care about, but it's just a part of the equation. They're depending on you to become the bona fide leader of this defense. The bona fide, they're depending on Trevon Diggs to be the best player on this defense. Yeah. And he's 26 years old, young player, has a lot of years ahead of him, assumingly. But who is he after those back-to-back knee surgeries? Who is DaRon Bland after fracturing his foot in 2020 in the 2024 season, not recording a single interception, was in and out of the lineup in the second half of the season, even after being cleared of the injury?
Right.
How can I expect Trevon Diggs and DaRon Bland, and then you sign Kyrie Elam, a former cornerback for the Bills, who's never really lived up to his billing as well? How can I expect those three players to produce at a high level and defend guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jihaad Dotson, John Mechie, Dallas Goedert? How can I expect them to be effective if the Cowboys can't rush the passer or don't have a consistent pass rush, let's say that, and can't stop the run?
You want to hear something interesting? So where did Dallas finish last year?
In the division or in the conference?
In the division.
They were third.
And they last in our conference, right? No, the Giants were last. So the Dallas Cowboys had 52 sacks last year. Guess how many the world champion Philadelphia Eagles had last year?
Like 44, something like that?
41.
41.
41. So where is all of that other pressure coming from? Where is it? Where is it? If we're getting it done because we got the better team, and we clearly had the better team, right? So if you got 52 sacks and Micah had 12 of them, so you had 40 other sacks, it's going to be interesting to see as a team what their sack total is again this year.